Lovely to see you again.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
One of the most refreshing things, I think you're an amazing human being to begin with, but
thank
one
you.
of the most endearing things that I noticed about you, D23, I noticed you getting kind of geeked out about the celebrities around you.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, I was stood next to Angelina Jolie.
Right?
Right? Angelina Jolie. And then it was cool because Chris Pratt, I'd played a game with him. When we were doing Orient Express, we did like game nights every weekend.
Yeah.
So Chris Pratt came, but obviously then I'm like, why would Chris Pratt remember me? And he was like, hey, Daisy. I'm like, oh, I'm like in the thing. I know people at these things. Yes, it was great.
And do you ever go back in the time where you were, you know, maybe you got your first pilot or your first short film and you thought that was going to be the pinnacle of your career and said, wait a minute, where am I?
Well, the thing I thought was going to be my break was a part in a TV show. So I quit my pub job and I was so thrilled. And then I got a call the next day and my agent said, you need to sit down, the part's been cut. And it was honestly a horrifying moment because I was like, I genuinely quit my job.
Sure.
But now I think they actually gave me a tiny bit. And weirdly, the scene's about John Williams, which is all a bit spooky. But I think now I'm so grateful for those things because, you know, learning.
And you stay grounded, and that's what I love about you.
Thanks.
Like, you know, starting out, spending your time in the pub as a pub waitress or pub tender, do you find that you're more patient with people that are waiting on you? No. Really? No? Less so?
Oh, I don't like many people. And in the pub, I'd be like, can we get on with this? I don't need to do small talk. I'll get you your drink and then let's move on because I want to be doing my job. I'm not patient. I'm also an impatient driver. Lots of honking and shouting.
Well, your transparency is endearing.
Yes, yeah.
So the price of fame is that you can't go anywhere. And of course, now being a part of this for the rest of your life, you won't be able to go anywhere in the free world without someone knowing who you are. What's the most recent time that's worked to your advantage, though?
Well, it's not, because I do use the tube and bus because, you know, people have their lives going on. And that's a very refreshing thing. So everyone's like, you're never going to be able to walk outside. And then you're like, oh, cool. Everyone's on their phones or going to work. But what has been great, I can't lie, is the last time I was in LA with my mother, we got free things. We got free coffees, we got free juices, and we got free ice cream. And I thought, this is a perk.
Isn't that funny? No matter how little or much you make, when someone just hands you something gratuitously,
it was so nice.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
What about musical acts? Is there an artist that you've always wanted to see that you got great seats to because you're right?
No, what I'm hoping is, I talk about Ariana Grande so much, I'm really hoping that we will connect because I really want to be her friend. Fleetwood Mac, actually, were great seats. Wow. Great seats, but also that was a gift from my agent. But in terms of like, I keep saying Ariana Grande in the hope that somehow she hears. She's like, hey, come to my show, let's hang out.
So I think we've just about gotten through with this discussion and haven't spoiled a single moment of this movie.
Not a single one.
But what is the one thing that you would tell people, be sure to not miss this? Something that if you blink your eye, you're going to miss in this movie.
What I will say about the film, and I think it definitely requires a second watching, because my sister came and saw it with me and we were both like, whoa, so much happens that it's a lot to digest. So I think on second viewing, it'll be easier to, because there's a lot that's going on in the best way, moves. So don't go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Basically.
All right, that's a warning.
Yeah.
All right, good to see you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks so much.
I have to tell you, I've been doing these interviews for the bulk of my life, but today's interview with you is going to be one of the most unique and memorable I've ever had, and it's not just because Star Wars has been a huge part of my life all my life.
Uh-oh, what's happening?
About the time you were doing Star Trek, I interviewed you and I told you that it was my childhood dream to make movies. And you said, well, what's stopping you? Make the movie. He said, people always come to me with a script or an idea or this or that, but they never make the movie. So my advice to you is make the movie. Well, I made a movie.
You're kidding.
My movie opens a week after Star Wars.
That's unbelievable.
So I just
Congratulations.
wanted to tell you, thank you very much.
What's your movie?
It's called Apparition with Kevin Pollak and Mina Sabari. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
I got to ask you questions about that.
To get my ass
Let's
kicked.
get the poster up. What's it called? What's it called?
It's called Apparition.
Apparition.
But to get my ass kicked by Star Wars is actually kind of like getting punched by Muhammad Ali.
How long of a shoot was it?
I had 17 days.
Was it what you wanted? Like, how did you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I've heard you say something similar to this, that every movie will kind of find a way to break your heart, but at the same time, it sticks.
Yeah, I mean, like with this, it can be insanely challenging and also incredibly rewarding. You know, was it cast good? Were you
Absolutely.
Happy? Really?
Like, casting was key. A guy
That's
that
true.
cast Pulp Fiction cast our movie.
Are you
and
kidding me?
It worked out great.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Apparition.
So anyway.
I can't wait to see it.
Forget about that.
Congrats.
Let's talk about this.
I'd rather talk about yours, but that's amazing.
That means the world. You know, back to that thing where I said every movie finds a way to break your heart. At this stage in the game, where we're foaming in the at the mouth at every pixel, every frame of this movie, are you at the same time going, yeah, it's good, but it could have been this?
Look, I'm always thinking it could have been, that moment could have been, I should have, you know, there's always that. But I will say I am incredibly proud to be associated with this movie, to have worked with this unbelievable cast and crew. There are things in it that I truly love. There are things in it I think, oh God, remember when we were doing that, what we were trying to do. The ambition of the movie, both in scale and spectacle, but also just in a sort of emotional heft, was always pretty sizable. And so I feel like we accomplished what we set out to do, maybe not always the way we thought we would do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we got there.
Tell me the moment on set, if you can identify a moment or a day where you honored the 8-year-old J.J. Abrams that could not be a bigger fan of this movie.
I was 10 when Star Wars came out, so when I was 8, I wouldn't have even known of Star Wars.
Okay,
so in fairness, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm 8.
I'm
8 over
younger.
here.
Sorry.
But when I was 10, I will be honest with you, I don't really remember many days on this movie that didn't. And I say that because when you are making a Star Wars movie, every day there's an unbelievable reminder that you're doing the impossible, that you're working on something that you never in your life dreamed you would actually get to be part of. Whether it's a costume design, whether it is a droid that suddenly is alive and being, you know, operated, whether it's a puppet, whether it's an actor who is wearing you know, something that tells you are, you know, whether you're in the middle of the desert, whether you're on a set that looks something like this, you know, you're constantly being reminded, despite all the work you're doing and the focus and, you know, everything that comes with, as you well know, directing a film, you're constantly being reminded that this is not just a film. This is both, you know, a responsibility, a job, a passion, and also impossibly a sort of childhood dream.
Sure. Well, this movie and you, sir, have changed my life.
That's insanely kind.
Good to see you.
That's very generous. Thank you, sir. And congrats on the film.
You make the movie and it's out there and you hope people love it, but what's that rock star moment like when you're on the stage at D23 and you hear that?
It's mad because, you know, it makes me want to break out and do a number. Can't lie. It makes me want to just do a song.
What would that song be?
It's a great feeling. It's happiness. It's good to see that the fans come out to Anaheim and support all the Disney projects. But for us specifically, there's always a love, and we see sabers in the distance, and so we know that the Star Wars fans are here. I think it's appreciated, man. I love it.
What was the hardest day on set, and you can't wait to see us see that moment?
Do you know what? I can't lie to you. Like, there were some days that were hard where we were running through the desert, and you know, I have desert experience before, but sure. This one, just doing a full sprint, like God knows how many times we did it, that was hard, but it was funny because we were all just kind of like in the same energy, cracking jokes, trying to keep each other up. But we ended up having fun. This is the most fun I've had, by the way, out of all the trilogy.
You're in a Star Wars movie.
I'm in a Star Wars movie.
How many times a day do you pinch yourself?
Well, especially after seeing it for the first time last night. I mean, I didn't, you know, you do it, and you know intellectually that you're in a Star Wars movie, but then you see it,
right.
And that music starts, and you just go, holy crap. This is, I brought Matthew, my guy, to see it with us, and it was Oscar and Matthew and I, and we were sitting there watching, and I looked over and I said, how bummed are you that it's me and not you in this movie right now? He was like super bummed.
Right? But at the same time, he's got to be geeking out. Did he ask you a billion questions during production?
Totally.
To which you said, I can't
tell you.
There's not even Star Wars pillow talk?
There's not, I know.
No?
And he was getting asked he's like, she won't tell me anything.
That's outrageous.
I know, it is. It's so true.
I've been doing these interviews the bulk of my life, and I've never felt the kind of energy that I feel today because everybody sitting on that side that has seen the movie, you can see this look in their face like, you have no idea what you're in store for.
It's really great. It's so great. I didn't know, you know, I really loved it. I really did.
Well, we can't talk specifics, so let's just talk about...
Well, I can tell you, like, you know, there are scenes that you know are in there. Like, there's some scene, because there's always action,
sure.
So that's okay to say.
Yeah.
But there's a scene sort of in the beginning with Daisy in the desert, which we all know we shot in the desert, so I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah, yeah.
And she starts something, and she goes for it, and it is so cool. I was just like, oh! oh, this is so good. And she's just going for it. And I just can't wait for my daughter to see this. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's a very female-forward, female-powerful movie.
And everyone powerful. I mean, it's just... I guess that's what's so great about Star Wars. It's sort of for everyone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Zori. What do we
Okay.
know?
Zori, yes, it's so exciting to be a part of Star Wars. But the fact that I get to be such a cool character in Star Wars.
For those who don't know, tell us.
So I play Zori, who is a helmet-clad lady of questionable morals living on a snowy planet called Kijimi. And the introduction of Zori sort of complicates Poe's past and tells you a little bit about Poe's past.
Got it. Tell me more. You can't tell me more. You can't tell us about the complications. Having been around J.J. actually on a set, watching him direct, there's no ball of energy, a rare opportunity to have a fanboy and director all in one.
And that's why he's so perfect for this. I mean, to have this opportunity to kind of close out a piece of cinematic history is such a special thing, and I'm so glad it was him. I'm so glad he got to do it.
I can't wait to see it. I'm going to go see it right now. Good to see you. Thanks for your time. Gents, good to see you.
Thank you.
I don't know whether I want to laugh at some of my favorite moments of this movie or cry because it's technically the end of this franchise, or at least this saga.
This saga, and that's fine. So let's be proud of it, and let's put it on the shelf and get it down every time we want to relive it.
Got it. So for you, this has to mean a tremendous amount. I mean, this has been the bulk of your life now.
It has. It really has, 43 years. And I'm so proud that I've reached this moment, so proud that I've been in all of them, and so proud that the saga is so great as it is, and what a final terrific ending this film is.
And as you welcomed him into the family, did you say, "Kid, here's what you're in store for"?
Absolutely not. He's 7 foot
use
tall.
those words.
No, and of course, being there all the time, I have seen people, arrive and depart. But everybody on the set is a Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah, and I was an Anthony's fan because we used to watch this Lord of the Rings animation that made by Ralph Barks or something. Bakshi, yeah. And it was this one thing. And Anthony played Legolas, and I was like, and he's C-3PO, and I was just like, that's amazing.
Very confusing.
And then I met him on the first day, and to be part of this has been such a big. I'm so grateful, and to have J.J. come back to do this last episode and wrapping up all the 9 films. Oh my.
For you, there was probably somewhere where you thought, I'm in this costume, no one's going to know it's me. But of course now, because of social media, it didn't take a heartbeat for everybody to know you were Chewbacca.
Exactly, and I'm very grateful for the torch that Peter passed to me. And I hope, he sadly passed last year, and I hope this film, I get to do him justice. And the character that he started lives on. I
had the pleasure to meet him, and I think you share a lot more in common with him than height. Wouldn't you agree that there's something, just a kindred spirit there?
To be hugged by Chewbacca is really quite something.
That's right.
Do you hug me in this movie? I can't remember.
We're going to have to wait and see.
I haven't considered this. Does C-3PO give good hugs?
Painful, actually. You have to be very, very careful. I was worried about Sir Alec Guinness helping me up off the sand because I thought he's a living legend and I'm going to break his arm,
I had a chance to go on set at Pinewood, so I know this to be true, that they made remarkable advances in the suit. For your comfort, did you say, why did it take you so long?
For this film, finally, I had hands that articulate like my own fingers. I could pick things up.
Small things.
Small things. A very important thing, too.
Right.
I'm not saying
I almost, did you see what I almost did?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we can't plot spoil, but what's the moment you don't want people to blink their eye for? Be sure and watch this for each of you individually.
All of it. And because it's quite a ride. It's a wild ride from the beginning. I couldn't believe, we're 20 minutes in and we have not taken a breath yet.
Have you read any good books lately?
I've written one.
That's where I was going with this.
I am C-3PO, the inside story, forward by J.J. Abrams. How proud am I of that?
Do you have an autographed copy?
Still working on it.
Okay.
I'm teeing that up right now.
That's excellent. It's my memoirs from being on the set of Star Wars, all of them.
It is remarkable.
Buy it now.
I'm doing
for
it.
Christmas.
You need to write
I'm teasing.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, gents.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
I'm so geeked. I just got to shake your hand.
Yeah. Hi.
Congratulations. How excited are you, but at the same time kind of sad that the franchise is all wrapping up now?
Oof. Yeah.
At the moment, super excited. I think I'm excited for people to watch it in its entirety and see all the good work that so many people have been a part of contributing to.
Yeah. I agree. It's a lot of. We just saw it yesterday, so I think we're all still processing it, if that makes any sense. But there seems to be this like general excitement about just letting it be out in the world.
Yeah, it's just got such an interesting style to it. This one is like it's different and it's a bit dirtier around the edges, and it feels a bit more rugged. And there's like, there's so many elements. I just think people are going to be really really surprised by it.
Yeah,
I like that in this day and age where like almost every movie, even like big tentpole movies, feel like they've gone through the filter and they're homogenized and a little too polished. This movie feels organic. There's something great about it.
And I think it kind of goes back to that rustic feel that the old Star Wars had, you know, that kind of put together kind of community feel around it, not like it's like a community project in the slightest. It's probably like the biggest.
Yeah, I know.
The biggest movie in the world.
Just a small little movie.
Just a tiny little indie, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like that. And watching it, it felt so like everyone was really sunk into their characters, and especially the ones like the OGs who have been around. It was amazing seeing them move into like different aspects of the character that we've all grown to love. So I think people are going to be really pleased by that.
So this is the first time I've talked to you since the last time I talked to you. You were waiting for it to hit, waiting for people to.
Wow, that's so crazy.
So it's been a minute.
Totally different person.
How has your life changed?
I feel like I'm a totally different person in a good way. I feel like it just taught me a lot in terms of. It was my first movie. So, you know, like this time around has been totally different for me in that I felt very grounded and felt very much able to sort of be more present in a different way.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Probably for the first time in your life, you've experienced like people in restaurants trying to be coy about it.
Oh my God.
Do you see a lot of that going on?
It does happen sometimes, but I will say my hair is very different in real life than how it was in the movie, and I don't think I look like my character that much. So.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
There's that.
So it's
So
only the real hardcore people are like,
right.
Yeah.
People that kind of have this photo facial thing going on.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah.
There's so many people that have not seen the movie for weeks after this opens because everybody's trying to go see it at the same time. Tell them the one thing not to miss. Don't blink your eye because you're gonna miss this one thing.
Just don't blink.
Don't blink at all.
Oh, at all. Nothing.
Don't blink.
You got to get this like that Clockwork Orange situation. Just fully have your eyes open the whole time.
All right, without plot spoiling, what was the most difficult day on the set where you thought, oh, I can't wait till we move on?
There were some very cold days on one particular set while we were running around that were very, very cold.
Yeah. I think anytime you're like waiting a really long time, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because you're like, when am I going to go?
What? Yeah.
That's really hard.
That's always really hard.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
You guys are pros. People are leaning in trying to get a plot spoil out of this, and they didn't get it.
I know.
Nice to see you. Thanks for your time. Nice to see you.
Thank you, and you.
Excellent work in this.
Thank you very much.
Talk about the
You've
genesis.
seen it?
No. But at the same time, safe to assume, excellent work in this.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I've got to say, having seen this movie, it's the best work you've ever done. No. Did they warn you that some of the press haven't seen the movie? That no one has seen the movie?
We know that nobody's seen it because yesterday when we were here, we hadn't seen it, none of the cast had seen it, and none of the press had seen it. Whereas today, we as the cast have the advantage of having seen the movie, so it makes it much easier to be talking about something that you have seen, have been energized and enthused about in a way that nothing could have prepared me for. So I insted and tweeted about it last night when I got back to my hotel because I was so overwhelmed by what I'd seen and so jived up with enthusiasm that I couldn't censor myself or hide my enthusiasm for it, and I can't wait to see it again.
Isn't it great, and what a rare treat it must be to be a classically trained actor, to, you want to hit the marks, you want to have the performance be at its best, but at the same time to be something that you can fanboy out like the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely bullseye accurate, and there's no you know, there's no way around it. I'd wanted to be in space since I was 12 years old, seeing Neil Armstrong land on the moon in 1969. So to be in a spaceship in a movie is as close as I will ever get to that.
How arduous a task is it, having seen the movie, knowing that any point, any corner you could plot spoil? How many times during discussions not unlike this one do you have to choke back and go, I can't talk about that thing?
Well, yes, I suppose, yeah. But I'm so used to the past year of everything being under Fort Knox-like security and secrecy that being able to even say the name of my character and Annie Leibovitz picture having been published in Vanity Fair, so that you don't have to hide who you are playing anymore. That was a huge relief.
What was the day on the set that you looked around and were absolutely in the moment thinking, I can't believe this?
Every single day I worked, I asked J.J. Abrams, the director, to pinch me on my shoulder. So I got bruising, because he would go, yep, I have to pinch you today, because just to prove that I was actually there. So I never got used to it, and I never got blasé about it either. I never go, oh, I got to go to Star Wars again.
Can you pick one moment that you can't wait for audiences to see?
I think, there are so many. There are so many emotional moments that you go, and confrontations between people that you don't expect to be seeing in the movie, that I can't. It's an amazing ride. I can't tell you enough. I can't wait for you to see it.
Just the joy in your face as you scanned all of the scenes that you were thinking about mentioning shows it all.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Good to see you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Allen, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.